Progressing into Demon Lord Clan Boss, it's not everything, but it is a lot, much like some other things in life. So what is up, guys? This is Corbett. Welcome to the account of Mr. Mooty, where, well, we're going to be fixing up a whole lot of things on Mr. Mooty's account in terms of team building. I will say we've got a slight case of level 50 syndrome going on here, man. A lot of level 50 champs on the account, and maybe like a dozen level 60s or so. A lot of level 40s, well, actually, now that I look at it. But I'm not going to harp on too much about that, man. This video is going to be all about what kind of tools you need to bring into Demon Lord Clan Boss to start building your first Demon Lord Clan Boss teams. We're not talking about like unkillable, block damage, more advanced teams here, or Wixwell Infinity teams, that kind of thing. We're talking about the good old bread and butter teams that are actually going to get you started farming up into Nightmare Demon Lord Clan Boss, and of course everything before that. And these teams should also provide a backbone of the kind of squad that you can build going into Ultra Nightmare as well, just with some champion tune-ups. Before we get to that, man, if you're looking to create a new Raid Shadow Legends account, man, make sure to get that done using the beginner promo link that is down below this video to create that new raid account, man. That beginner link down below, as long as you use that link on laptop or PC to create your new raid account, it's going to get you off to a triple legendary start with Basilius Varanus as your day 1 legendary, a few free epic champions as you upgrade your account. That's all of the promo link rewards. You can then get yourself to Hanorach or Alice the Wanderer as your day 1 legendary champion using a beginner promo code. That's either Desert Queen for Hanorach or Get Alice for Alice, and then you're also going to grab yourself Michelangelo as the free login reward legendary champion as long as you create your account before October 30th, man. Best possible way to create a new raid account, man, in 2025. And alright, man, fit to pop in of my head just now, the tools that you want to bring into your Demon Lord Clan Boss team. First off, the defensive tools. A decreased attack debuffer. Huge deal. Champions that bring ally protect are very good indeed. Increased defense champions are huge. And then number 4, you just need some kind of healing and shielding. Well, you can consider the shields a bonus, you know, the heals are a kind of a mandatory, at least some AoE healing for your team. For the offensive tools, poisons and HP burns are amazing. Decreased defense debuffs are great, weakened debuffs are also great, and bonus points if you can bring ally attack champions or counter attack buff champions, right? They're essentially going to get more value out of the masteries on your champions once you've got things like Giant Slayer on some of your champs or War Master masteries on some of your champs. Things like counter attack and ally attack champs just get way more mileage. Very much rapid fire here. Some champions that bring these tools to the fight that are pretty accessible for new accounts, right? Epic champions mostly are going to be the likes of Stag Knight, brings decreased defense and decreased attack debuff in the same skill, 2-turn duration, 100% land rate, well, actually 95% land rate, which is a little bit weird, but a 3-turn cooldown as well. Very nice. Honestly, Tyrell is a great progression epic champion as well for this job. He brings a decreased attack debuff on a double hitter A1, with each hit having a 50% chance of placing strong decreased attack debuff against the Demon Lord. And then we've also got decreased defense as well, built into his A2. We'll actually stick to the defensive champions first, man. Taragi the Frog brings a decreased attack on his A1, which is great. It's only a single target hit and a 40% land rate though, and so if you're going to use Taragi as your decreased attack debuffer, you probably want to bring along another champion that's got a less than optimal land rate decreased attack debuff as well, so that combined they can keep up the debuff most of the time. Taragi's also going to bring ally protection buff on a 3-turn cooldown on his A3, as well as some shielding as well on this A3. And even when he gets attacked, he has a chance of placing poison debuff on the attacker as well. So he actually brings a decent amount of damage to the table as well against Demon Lord. Taragi is very solid. Hatatsu is actually the next champion along in the Shadowkin faction. He's great. Brings Leech on his A1, decreased attack debuff on his A2 on a 3-turn, and then increased defense and continuous heal on his A3. And so a lot of great defensive utility coming out of Hatatsu as well. Rector Drath is a great healer to bring in a Demon Lord also, because she also brings a decreased attack debuff on her A1. Not mega reliable, but it's there and it's the strong version. And of course she brings all kinds of AoE heals, and she even brings the chance to place Perfect Veil buffs across your team, which Perfect Veil, it's not like the best defensive tool to bring into Demon Lord. I didn't mention it in the breakdown, but it does actually reduce damage that your champions take by like 15%, I believe. So those big AoE smacks that are coming in from Demon Lord, they can be offset a little bit by a Perfect Veil, so not a bad support to bring along. A slightly worse support to bring along, but you know, I don't want to talk him down too much, is going to be Tagore. Tagore's fine, fine, right? Bring some shielding. It's on a 5-turn cooldown because this is really a revive skill, but it does place a shield buff on allies for 2 turns equal to 20% of Tagor's HP, and bring some heals and an increased speed buff on the A2. And so, you know, Tagor's okay. Increased speed buff could be pretty good to bring along, and so, you know. Next up, we've got Fane. And by the way, if you can't check all of these boxes and bring all of these buffs and debuffs and tools to the table inside of Demon Lord, don't sweat it. There are few who can, right? You're just doing your best to hit as many of these defensive tools and offensive tools as you can on your account when you're just getting started. Your tools are going to be limited, man. This is what progressing in Raid is all about at the end of the day. Fane is an incredible Demon Lord clan boss champion that we've got to mention. She brings poison debuffs and decreased attack debuff on a 3-turn cooldown on the A2, which is great, but we're kind of switching focus here into the damage dealers a little bit, because as well as Fane bringing a great defensive tool with decreased attack, she also brings decreased defense and weaken on the A3 as well. So she brings some great offensive debuffs, the decreased attack, the poisons. Very, very bloody good champ indeed. Not quite as good as the Fane, but still very, very deadly indeed into Demon Lord. It's going to be Anax, brings decreased defense on a double hitter on his A1, brings poisons and decreased accuracy on the A2, and then brings weakened debuff on the A3. So very, very similar to Fane. However, Anax does not bring the decreased attack debuff, and so you're going to have to find that debuff from elsewhere. For me, the decreased attack debuff is like the most important defensive tool to bring into Demon Lord, and so Anax is lacking that. Still great damage dealer though, with very, very powerful offensive debuffs. Couldn't have a video like this and a breakdown like this without covering Geomancer at least one time, who brings HP bend debuffs and weaken debuffs on his A3. 2 great tools here to bring along, and also brings a crazy passive to the fight. Whenever this champion is attacked, deflect 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. This is crazy damage, like max HP damage, to reflect back onto the Demon Lord, and Geomancer does, generally speaking, incredible Demon Lord clan boss damage as long as you can keep him alive. Honestly, Kale is the best starter champion for a reason. He's a great little beginner poison champion to bring along into Demon Lord as well. Oh my god, I almost forgot to touch on Aox as well. Aox, we're going back to Lamolic, the defensive champions here, to be fair, but Aox has a chance to place poison on his A1 on a double hitter. It's quite a low land rate, but you know, 30% chance, double hit, it's fine. Aox is a great champion because it brings a 100% land rate, 3-turn cooldown, decrease attack, and decrease crit rate, or has a chance to place the decreased crit rate debuff as well into Demon Lord. Great defensive tools, and brings a 3-turn cooldown heal on all allies as well. And so, yeah, Aox is very good. Even on his passive, increase the duration of 2 random debuffs and the attacker by 1 turn whenever Aox gets hit, increasing the duration of all of those decreased attack debuffs, those poison debuffs. Quite an excellent champion to bring into Demon Lord as well. So now you've got a bit of an idea of some champions that you can look out for on your account to take into Demon Lord. What is the team that Mr. Muti is running right here? Honestly, it's a pretty good team based on the champion roster that he has available to him. Mostly hitting into Nightmare Clan Boss with the squad. Now, first and foremost, what I will say is, we appear to not have any team presets set up for this team. It's always much better if you can set up your teams in the saved team presets and just give them some specific instructions on some skills to not use and skills to prioritize and open with and stuff like that. So this team is bringing a couple of champions that we actually just touched on, right? We've got the Rector Drath for decreased attack and some heals. We've got the Anax for some poison action, decreased defense, weakened, that kind of thing. We're actually running an aura lead of Drexthar to benefit from his accuracy aura. We're just a little bit low on accuracy banners and stuff on this account, so I understand why we're doing this, but it's not really ideal. You're much better off if you can just hit, like, I don't know, 200 accuracy plus going into Nightmare Clan Boss and not have to rely on an accuracy aura. It lets you use instead things like speed auras, maybe an attack aura, a defense percent aura can be very good as well. And we do have Freya on this account. The Drexthar brings to the table good old HP bend debuffs, which is great. And he is built out with a Giant Slayer mastery as well for this A1. Giant Slayer, great into Demon Lord on any champ that's bringing like a triple hit to A1. And so the Drexthar's actually doing pretty good damage in this team as well. Same thing with the Apothecary. He's also bringing along a triple hitter with Giant Slayer in this team. So again, like, the team is very well optimized, man. I think Muti's done a great job on this account of squeezing as much value out of this team as he possibly can. And then of course we're getting increased speed and 10 meter fill from the Apothecary. And then we have Freya Fateweaver, who sadly we're not getting use out of her ally defense aura in all battles. Huge aura, 30% increased defense on everybody. Would love to see the Freya as the team leader, but she's going to be bringing block debuffs, which is actually quite useful into Clan Boss as well. Not a key tool to bring along for me, but pretty useful. And of course, we also bring it along increased defense and some shielding on the Freya also. A pretty good team. This is how it functions right now. So the biggest issue that I see with this team, for the time being at least, is that, well, we've got the Drexthar running as the aura lead, which means that we're not benefiting from the Freya's defense percent aura, which is really, really sad. It's a huge defense percent aura that we should and should be running as the aura lead, in my opinion, in this team. If we could take care of like the other champions' masteries and stuff like that, accuracies and stuff like that, so we don't need the Drexthar accuracy aura, that would be better. But there's another huge problem with this squad. This is actually a recording that I made last night, but if you see up here on the clan boss's debuffs, you'll see the decrease attack debuff from the Rector Drath. However, you're about to see that debuff disappear, right? No longer have decrease attack up against the Demon Lord right now. Now, I think the Rector gets pretty lucky here. Oh no, she actually fails to land the decrease attack on her A1 just there. We don't have a reliable way of keeping up decrease attack debuff against the Demon Lord. She gets it up there just in the nick of time before this next attack comes in. But what this is going to result in, because we've got a Rector placing decrease attack and her A1 isn't a reliable way of keeping up decrease attack, it means that as soon as we get to like Clan Boss turn 22 or something, of course every turn after turn 10, the Demon Lord's damage just ramps up and ramps up and ramps up with every single turn. By like turn 22, if we fail to land that decrease attack debuff one time from the Rector Drath, we're just gone. Like, it's just gonna one-shot us. It's like too important of a debuff to allow it to just fall off. Now, that might not necessarily be true. We might survive beyond turn 22 or whatever, you know, because the Freya's shields and increased defense buffs are so bloody powerful on this team. Might actually keep us alive, you know, if the timings work out and we get lucky that way. But we need a 100% land rate or 100% way of keeping up the decrease attack debuff basically at all times on this squad. Now, it does just happen that we get to around turn 24-ish, where the increased defense buff falls off the Rector, and even in spite of the decreased attack debuff being up on the clan boss, the Rector's gonna get one-shotted, right? She's just going to get eviscerated by the Demon Lord in a single attack like so, and then things are going to go very, very quickly downhill from there as soon as the decreased attack debuff falls off, because now there's nobody left alive to actually place it. The damage is going to finish up at about, if I just skip forwards a little bit, the damage is going to finish up at about 21 million before too much stuff dies on the team, and so I stop the run, okay? And so what I do here is I actually just close out of the game completely without finishing the fight, and that's a way that you can save your Demon Lord clan boss keys to, if you're like testing teams and stuff like that, just close out of the game and it will not spend your key. And so how could we improve on this team? Well, we need a more reliable way of placing decreased attack debuff, and for me, we gotta try and get the Freya in as the aura lead. And so this right here is the team that I would try running instead. I would actually yeet the Drexthar completely out of the squad, and I would run Freya as the team leader so that we're getting her defense aura, right? We'd also start making use of Taragi, okay? Because again, oh my god, bloody 7 maintenance, don't do this to me, Plarian, man. We've got the less than reliable, it's like a 50% land rate decrease attack debuff on the Rector Drath's A1. Well, if we bring along Taragi the Frog, he will also bring along a 40% land rate decrease attack on his A1 as well. Should result on much higher uptime, basically like 90 or 95% uptime on the decrease attack debuff, keeping us safe for much longer into the fight. Taragi is also going to bring a tool to the squad that we don't have, which is ally protection on a 3-turn cooldown. Very big, okay? Huge deal. This makes it so that this team is actually bringing basically every single defensive tool we can possibly bring, okay? shields, increased defense, ally protect, and decreased attack, all in one single team. And the Taragi is also going to play some poisons on his passive also. Now, just to give you an idea of some of the stats that this like champions on this team are running with, we've got the Rector at like 2200 defense, 64k health, about 220 speed. Apothecary is looking at about 3.3k defense and 242 speed. And the reason I'm pointing these out is because we're about to test out basically this same team on my main account, just with the champion set up slightly differently. I can't actually test it on Moody's account right now because his Taragi doesn't have masteries, is level 50, and isn't booked, you know, so I don't really have a choice. I've got to actually just like test out the same team on my main account, and that's how we're going to do it, man. And we're just going to compare the damage numbers. 20 million damage, or I guess 21 million damage is the damage number to beat. Also, I don't have an Apothecary with Giant Slayer on my main account, man. This is a lot of extra damage into Demon Lord. I'm just going to have to make do with a Haikatoon. And so this is the team that we are actually going to be testing. I also don't have an Anax built on my main account either, or a Fane. So I can't actually test the Anax in this team either, which really, really sucks because it means that I don't have decreased defense, I don't have weakened debuff, okay, and I'm relying on just a kill as my poison champion going into this. That sucks a lot, and Anax is going to massively, massively boost this damage a lot more than a kill is, so do bear that in mind, okay? I don't have the Anax, we're rocking a kill instead. As for the Apothecary, again, I'm using a Haikatoon instead. Haikatoon doesn't have Giant Slayer, she doesn't have the triple hitter A1, she's going to do a lot less damage, or at least a moderate amount less damage than Apothecary would do as well, and so the damage situation isn't that great on this team. Now you might also say, oh but Cobb, these champions are max empowered, man. Like we're looking at a Taragi right here with like a +4, and with 6-star Awakened, same thing as well with the Rector Drath. But if I just go to the team setup real quick, you'll see that my Taragi stats are not out of control by any means. He's sitting on like 3,300 defense, 84k health. I don't think that that's that nuts. Same thing with the Rector Drath as well. Very, very similar stats actually on my Rector compared to what we are looking at on Moody's account. Just a bit more defense. I've went ahead and deliberately removed all kinds of gear from these champions to try and just bring their stats down a little bit. The Rector's lacking a shield. I've got the banner still on the Rector just to make sure that she has enough accuracy to actually land their debuffs, and so I couldn't pull that off. But same thing with the Taragi as well. Just no accessories on the Taragi at all. A relic I'm running on the Taragi that I do recommend for Taragi is just Diadem of Undeath. It's not a super OP relic or whatever, it's just a rare, but just a bit of extra defense and HP from this, and whereas defense increases by 1% for each ally under an ally protection buff placed by this champion. So that's just some of the champions that we've thrown together on the team. I think I also pulled some gear off of the Haikatoon as well. Did I? Okay, yeah, I just ripped the banner off the Haikatoon just to slow her down a bit. And she actually has no relic on her either. And so, yeah, this is the squad. And these were the results from my earlier runs against Void Affinity Demon Lord. Crazy. So I apologize for the massive fonts in this fight. This clip was actually recorded on BlueStacks, but oh my god, what the hell happened to the recording quality? Okay, it's back, we're saved. My god, man. But yeah, because now we have 2 decreased attack debuff for champions on the A1 skills, we're gonna have basically 100% uptime on these decreased attack debuffs against the Demon Lord. Again, my damage is gonna be bloody lacking here by a lot because there's no weakened debuff, there's no decreased defense debuff. It's a kill, not an annex, and it's a Haikatoon, not an Apothecary. So there is that, right? There are those caveats to bear in mind. But yeah, we're running the just maximum amount of defensive buffs on this team now. The Taragi is going to help out with poisons a little bit as well. And the aura lead, being a defense aura, is going to help us to survive a little bit longer. And by a little bit longer, I mean this. While the damage is lacking, because of all the reasons I've mentioned 100 times already, this team took Demon Lord all the way to 10 cap. Like, once you get to boss 10 count 50 in Demon Lord Clan Boss, it just one-shots you, right? It just one-shots you. So you're going to see me stop at 10 count 49 with this team. But, dude, this team is crazy, man, in terms of how survivable it can be. Now, of course, my gear is slightly better still, even with, like, all of the accessories removed and stuff like that. It's slightly better than what you, Mr. Muti, have access to on your own account. But I hope that this demonstrates pretty juicily just what this team can do in terms of survival, and the damage will only be better with the champions that you have available on your account, the Apothecary and the Annex. And so for me, on Mooty's account, this is the team that I would go ahead and look to build and look to max out, right? Building up that Annex and, yeah, firing with this squad. This squad can live for a bloody long time and do solid damage while it does it. Now, I believe an even better team that we could actually rock out here would still use the Freya as the aura lead. It would still abuse the Annex as well. It would still use the Taragi the Frog, right? Kind of no changes there, except for the fact that I just misspoke. Get the Taragi the Frog in the sea. We might be able to build a team here where we actually don't need the Taragi at all. And that's because we actually do have an Aox on this account, man. We could actually run the Aox as the decreased attack debuffer, because Aox brings the heals and a 100% land rate decreased attack debuff, which kind of changes everything, right? We then don't need to use the Rector Drath, and the Taragi's decreased attack is suddenly a lot less valuable on his A1, and while he's still going to be bringing ally protect and stuff to the table, do we then still need the Taragi on the squad at all? Maybe we do. Maybe we could go something like Taragi and then throw the Apothecary on the team, because the Apothecary is still bringing increased speed and stuff like that, and we could have a team that looks a little bit more like this, and the Ally Protect might still be valuable from the Taragi, but we could also experiment with ditching the Taragi and actually going for an HP burner like Drexstar, and bringing along the HP burn, and the Drexstar is also built with Giant Slayer, you know, and so maybe we could rock with something a little bit like this. The reason I'm not using the Alice in this team, by the way, I should have mentioned this earlier in the video. Some people were saying, oh my god, dude, the Alice with Brimstone, blah, 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 we're going to use the Alice. The Alice isn't built with Brimstone on this account, and I don't want to go ahead and change her blessing. She could fit in as one of the damage dealers, potentially, at a team like this as well, if she did have Brimstone. She currently has like Reaper, and so we'll just leave her as that. But yeah, this could be a team that we look towards building in the future if we eventually do look to build out the Aox. But for me, this team is the team with the Taragi the Frog is going to be more immediately useful, because Taragi is going to help us out a hell of a lot on this account with Ice Golem progression as well. But more on that in the next video, where we're going to get to covering all of the dungeon teams that I would build on this account. For now, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this happy little Demon Lord crash course video for just building an ultra survivable team while also trying to maximize your damage as much as you possibly can. The servers are going to go down for maintenance right now, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some breakfast real quick. While I do that, if you're looking to start off a new raid account, man, get that done right now by using the beginner promo link that is down below this video at the top of the video description box, man. Use that link on laptop or PC to secure all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.